Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm the gallery director of Gallery 500. I'm here today to do a quick little virtual preview of Robert Shirk's artwork, which is brand new. We just hung it up today. I'm very excited to introduce his work to you. I am live on our Facebook page. We had a virtual event set up and we're having some technical difficulties going live on the event, but we're here on the Facebook page. So tune in. Hopefully y'all can jump in or watch it later when it posts. But now let's jump into the paintings. So these are the two paintings that we have right now, and I want to talk a little bit about Robert Shirk. So he's an established contemporary artist based in Ormond Beach. He's exhibited all over Central Florida and outside of Central Florida. He's known for these mixed media paintings on plexiglass, which incorporate different layers of plexiglass, each with their own partial image that come together to create a complete and final product. So this method of painting is Robert's unique take on pointillism, which, if you're familiar, is the style of art where the artist applies small dots of unblended paint to the canvas in a pattern that work together to form an image when you step away from the canvas. So, like a pointillist technique, you can see that he's using small dots layered on top of each other. And then, like I showed you a second ago, when we step away, those colors work together to produce the image. Rather than muddling all those dots together, though, like you would see on a pointillist painting, he has broken the image down into layers based on foreground, background, undertone, and isolated each of those layers and painted them on clear plexiglass sheet, so that when they're mounted together, they build up off each other and create a painting that amplifies the depth and color within the image. So here you can see this top layer has beautiful light pinks and rosy tones, and then the layers underneath are a little bit darker, and they have complementary tones that together build the image. Especially when it comes to depth, you can see that he's incorporating the foreground and background of the image to give it a sculptural quality. So in the eyes, you can see how it all works together to really make the image pop. It's giving it dimension that you wouldn't see in a traditional painting on canvas, because each of those layers has its own identity, if you will. So this first one is called Spencer, and like a lot of his portraits, he starts out with a photograph that he finds on social media. So once he acquires permission to use that photograph, he would build his dots off of the photograph based on the colors that are present in that original image. And so you get a final, beautiful popping painting. In this particular piece, I love that he's decided to reveal that original portrait behind the dots. Normally you would see his work cropped here, but in this piece he's decided to leave part of the original photograph as visible from underneath those dots. And he's added a little bit of digital cross-hatching, which I think is a nice complement to the dots. It gives it a really sharp contrast. And the same can be said for this other piece, which is called Reina. You can see that he's introducing those sharp line work. And I think it adds a nice, again, I'm going to use the word contrast, because that photograph with the hatchwork and all of the muted skin tone colors shows the real true effect of his dotting technique. You have this beautiful sort of flat digital looking photograph, and then the pop of the painterly dots on top. This piece is, again, called Reina. He discovered this picture also on social media. A lot of his portraits do rely on images that he's finding on social media. He works with the women who take the pictures to get their permission to use their photographs, and then creates these beautiful pieces of work around them. And Spencer actually is a makeup artist who does these gorgeous, glamorous, dramatic looks. And our other female muse, Reina, she had this expression in her photograph that Robert said reminded him of Jessica Rabbit, if you're familiar with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the movie. And together they both have it's that glamorous, sultry, beautiful look, and so they worked beautifully together. Not as a diptych, but as a series, if you will. And these pieces are on our website, but the pictures on the website don't show you this layering effect. And I'm gonna get up really close so that you can see what I mean by that. There are, if I can come over to the edge, 2 separate sheets of plexiglass here. And each one contains a different color palette. So on top, he has his warm tones of yellow and red, and underneath are the undertones of her skin tone, which are those deep blues and violet colors. And then when you step back, it becomes this beautiful rosy pink tone. The same technique is applied to this other piece as well, and to all of his pieces. One of the reasons I love Robert's style is it's so contemporary, but it's really hard to peg him within any one genre or painterly technique. I mean, he's incorporating elements of art history and methodologies that we might all be familiar with, but in really unique ways. Like a lot of the great artists that help shape those big movements we all think of, those artists started out by experimenting within their medium. You think Jackson Pollock and Andy Warhol, they took a well-known concept and adjusted it to their liking to create something new and interesting. And here, Robert Shirk is doing the same thing. He's taking long-standing methods of portraiture and pointillism and manipulating them, experimenting with materials and mediums and how to make it interesting and unique and contemporary. On these particular pieces, he's also added this beautiful design work around the image, framing in the face and framing in his dots. He has this very loose circles and lines, which is unusual for his work, and it adds just another element to it that makes the image balanced and compositionally intriguing. These are big paintings. They're 36 by 48, and they are mounted on acrylic, so they don't need a frame. They just hang right on the wall, and they are on our website. Definitely come in and check them out in person. They're absolutely stunning. You can see photographs on the website, and I hope this video gives you a little bit of an idea on how these pieces are constructed and how they move with the viewer. One of the reasons I love them is that the image moves with you because of how those layers are interacting with each other. It's really stunning work. Very excited to have Robert here and have his work up. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Give us a shout out. Come to the gallery and see it. We are open. We're open from 11 to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out our website, check out our Facebook page, like and follow if you aren't already, and thank you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.